All right, welcome into our latest Swampcast, and of course the last preview Swampcast until we get to the bowl game, which we don't know where that's going to be, or when it's going to be. But obviously, Florida playing Florida State on Saturday. The Gators are big favorites, 18 points, 17 points. Depends on which service you use.
Are they too big a favorite, Pat?
I don't like it at all. If I'm a Florida fan, I don't want to be that big a favorite. I want to be like an 8-point favorite.
Yeah, I remember when Auburn came here in, 94? And they were like a 16-point dog, and they won that game.
And they won out there. Auburn did.
And it was a Bowden that beat them.
Yep, that was,
yeah.
But there's no Bowden.
I know there's no Bowden.
Yeah.
There's no tag.
I think Robbie got confused and went back into a time warp. But there is an Odell Hagens, and I thought one thing that Dan Mullen said on Monday was interesting, that this is going to be a different team than they've seen because that coach's imprint's not on this team anymore.
No, it's a new coach's imprint, and he's going to call the things the way he wants to have it run, so things will be different, so they're going to have to adjust on the run.
And, he may be auditioning for an assistant coach's job. I mean, supposedly Florida State will come out early next week and name a head coach.
But what if he wins, Pat? What if FSU wins? Could you make that hire, that emotional hire?
And that's the thing. You can't like if FSU knows who they want to hire, then him winning or losing shouldn't matter.
Yeah, true.
If they can't go into that game and go, well, if he wins, he's in. If he loses, we've got another guy in mind. I don't think they can.
Yeah,
do
that would be logistically hard to do.
Yeah, and I mean, interim coaches are the rage because of Dabo Sweeney and Ed Ogeron. We go back to Galen Hall, which worked out. There have been some other ones that worked out, and there's other ones who haven't. I don't think that they're going to do that. I think they're going to hire a name coach. I don't think he's going to be as big a name as some people believe.
Yeah, and he's a good coach, a good assistant. He's never been a coordinator, much less a head coach. So you're taking a little bit of a gamble there.
But they will. I would think that they're going to play pretty loose. That they're going to try some things. And to me, Robbie, and I've said this all week, the best player in the field may well be Cam Akers. I mean, he is that good of a player.
Yeah, he can change a game in a hurry. And the thing is, FSU is going to play their best game of the year. You've got to imagine. They've got nothing to lose. They're fired up playing for Hagen.
Right.
And they'll come in here loose. And they've won here 4 times in a row.
Right. But this is like what I try to tell people that I don't think everybody understands. When you're playing the Gators, you're playing against Tebow. You're playing against Spurrier and Werfel. And you're playing all this tradition. When you play against Florida in basketball, you're not playing against Scotty Lewis. You're playing against Scotty Wilbekin.
Yeah.
You're playing you all this tradition that goes with it. So teams tend to play their best against Florida.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just the way it is, and you've got to have your A game all the time.
Yeah, Josh Hammond talked about it this week, that everybody comes out to try and play their best against Florida because of what they did last year and where the program seems to be heading.
And it's not just Florida. I mean, it's that way with Alabama. It's that way with Clemson. It's that way with a lot of other teams. But you have to be ready to play. Like I said, this team is good enough to beat Florida, but Florida would have to help them. And we all know that they're going to start slow.
They do every game, yeah. But just take care of the ball if you're going to start slow.
Right.
Don't fall behind and give them a lot of confidence.
And this 4-game losing streak, which isn't really I kind of poo-pooed it the other day because the freshmen on this team, as you point out in your story, Robbie, they've lost one time at home.
Yeah.
But it started with a 2-point game, and then the team 2 years ago, Felipe Franks was literally the worst quarterback I've ever seen.
Oh, it was awful, yeah.
So, I mean, they've had no offense, and now they've got an offense. Even though it's a one-dimensional offense, they've got one. So that gives Gator fans a lot more reason for optimism. But I know all Gator fans because this is a big rivalry. People don't get how big this rivalry is within the two programs, within the state.
Yeah, and what it means moving forward too, Pat, with recruiting and everything, momentum, recruiting.
This is what I'm going to write for Saturday. All the reasons why it's a big game, and the bowl's part of it, and all that stuff. But in the end, there's only one biggest reason. It's FSU.
Yeah.
And Gator fans don't like FSU, and FSU don't like Gators.
No.
And that's the way it should be for all time. I mean, you have at least
it will be too, Pat.
You have at least a little respect for Georgia, right? When you go play Alabama, you have a little respect for them. I don't think Florida fans respect FSU, even when they were good. And vice versa.
Well, they don't want to is the whole thing. Whether they do or not, they just don't want to.
We'll see. And here's another possibility that can happen. It could be that FSU's players have kind of know Easton's not getting the job, and maybe they don't go and play hard. In fact, I would highly recommend that for them to do that.
Who did you say?
Easton.
Easton. You mean Hagens?
Whatever his name is. Who's Eason?
Odell.
Odell Higgins.
Yeah.
Who was he? John Eason was
Yeah.
who I was thinking
Yeah.
of.
He's not a candidate either.
No, he's not. He's out. I'm telling you, the Greg Schiano thing's going to happen.
No, it's not.
All right, I'm telling you, Mike Norvell is going to happen.
I don't think it is either.
All right, I'm telling you, Jim McElwain.
Pat, you know it's Urban Meyer, of course.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
I think it's Belichick.
How about Spurrier?
Oh, that'd be something, huh?
Stoops?
Well, we'll worry about that next week. This week, Florida's just got to go get a win. It's a pretty simple math equation for Florida.
Yeah.
I mean, just do the things you've been doing, score more points than the other team.
Take care of the ball.
It's simple, yeah. It's another one of those business games. You know, it's a business-like game
Yeah,
for Florida.
just like Missouri.
Take care of business. Don't let the emotions of senior day overwhelm you. I almost didn't get that out. All right, that'll do it for our podcast, our last one previewing a regular season game. We'll come back with you after the game, very late, I'm sure. We have to work that out.
We'll be
with
wide awake,
Brad. And tell you what we thought of the game. And then, of course, the next time we come at you after that will be bowl week. So
Where will that be?
we don't know where it'll be. We have ideas, but we don't know. Till then, Pat Dooley, Robbie Andreu of the Gainesville Sun saying so long from the Sunshine State.